on Storytime again. This is ridiculous. I probably will. Blinded by the light. This is what I should freaking use. I should have did this at the beginning of the video. I'm done. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sierra, and today we're going to be talking about why Tinder sucks. Yes, why Tinder sucks. So, this is my first time doing a Storytime video, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know if it's going to be weird. I don't know. We're just testing out the waters, so hopefully it's okay. So, let's get right into the video. This is probably going to be all over the place because I don't even know how I'm going to start this. I have so many little stories about Tinder, but I'm just going to go ahead and go into it. I hate Tinder because when I downloaded Tinder on and off, like I would download it and then delete it and then re-download it and delete it about like 2 to 3 times. So I think the first time I downloaded Tinder was years ago, maybe senior year of high school or freshman year of college. I downloaded for the very first time Tinder, and I really got into it around freshman year of college to now. So I really got into it. Let's talk about what I really got into it, because that's where the stuff went down. I updated my profile because I deleted it a while ago, and I downloaded the app, and then I updated my profile. I updated my pictures. I had new pictures on there. Updated my description, and I put my Snapchat in there so people can follow me on Snapchat too. They want to see like inside my life. And so yeah, so far I liked Tinder because you know, you could talk to people, you can make friends, and I let people know. Here's where I think a lot of people mess up, is because people don't really read the descriptions, or at least I think people don't read the descriptions, because when I see a person, when I'm going through Tinder and I'm like swiping, and I see a person that I like, and I click on their profile and I read their description, I read what they have to say, I read what they offer, and I look at their profile pictures and stuff like that. I think a lot of people just see a picture and automatically message, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if that's what that person's not looking for. So for example, if somebody saw my profile and I put in my description DTF, which means not down to F, basically, not down just to have sex. So I put that in my description. I let people know that I want to find a friend, and I want to find somebody who I can start a relationship with, or just to meet new people, but I'm not just here for sex. I let people know, like, don't message me if you're just trying to get some nudes. No. A lot of people would message me and say, you know, like, you're really cute, you're hot, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, thank you, what's your name? And we start a conversation, and then they say, you know, can you send me a picture? And I send them a picture, but it's like a picture, like, of my face. Like, it's a selfie or something like that. And they were like, well, can you send me another kind of picture? And I already know that we're not on the same page. I already know that we're not on the same page. You know, I talk to a lot of people on Tinder, like maybe almost hundreds of people on Tinder, and there will be a handful that I actually like meet up with, and so the people who I do meet up with, it doesn't really end well. So I met up with some. Let's start freshman year of college. So I met up. The first time I met up with somebody on Tinder, we were supposed to go out to a party, a house party. And so this is when I was back living in Atlanta. And so he picked me up from my dorm, and you know, he drove me. It was just me and him. We were driving around. We went to the gas station to pick up some stuff, and you know, we were driving around, and we went to the house party, but we got lost on the way to the house party, so we were really late. We were late. We got there around 2, 3 in the morning, and that's when people are starting to leave. So we got there super late. We got there, we danced for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, people are like, cops are here, leave, like, all underage people, if you got liquor, just go. Everybody leave, because cops were here, and there was a little bit of underage people, there was a little bit of drinking, there was a little bit of smoking, so people were like, out of here, get out of here, get out of here. So we were leaving and on our way, and the person that I was on the Tinder date with had alcohol on him. And at the time, I was only 18. Right now I'm 19, but at the time I was only 18, so, you know, he was trying to hide the liquor. So he hid the liquor and did all that, and we drove away, and we were like, well, what are we going to do now? Because, you know, what are we going to do now? The party's over and done with. What are we going to do? So we were like, oh, do you want to go to a hookah bar? I was like, I would love to go to a hookah bar. I would love to go to a hookah bar. I actually like hookah a little bit. So we went to a hookah bar, and we stayed there till about 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, it was actually a good time. The music was a little off because they were playing like Spanish music or Jamaican music. I can't remember. They were playing music that I didn't know what they were talking about. So it was alright. It was cool. We were vibing. We were having fun. He was a little bit awkward though. He was a little bit awkward. Like, it's like he didn't have anything else to say, or he didn't know what to say, or he didn't know how to look at me or touch me. Like, if I'm on a date, like, of course I want you to like touch me on the arm, or I don't know, just, he didn't really know what to do. So I kind of helped him out a little bit, start conversation, and then we were like, you know, it's getting late, why don't we leave? And I was like, alright, well, that's cool, that's cool. So, he was a gentleman throughout the whole, date. He wasn't too bad. He was just kind of, like, awkward in a way. But he was fine, though. So then we, were leaving out of the hookah bar. He got in the car, he saw some of his friends, and he started talking to his friends, so I was just waiting in the car, and then he got in, and he was like, alright, well, let's go ahead and take you home, you know, it's getting late, and I was like, okay, okay, and then he kept asking, he was like, you know, I really love a kiss, you know, you're very beautiful, and blah, 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 and I didn't really want to give him a kiss, because I don't know, I wasn't feeling it 100% to give him a kiss, and it was the first date, so I was like, maybe next time, maybe on the next date, or, I don't know, I'm not sure, like, I didn't really give him, like, a definite answer. I'll tell you something a little personal. At the time, when we were talking, we were getting to know each other and stuff like that, and at the time, I told him that I was a virgin, and that I used to be a virgin. I'm not a virgin anymore, but I told him that, you know, that a lot of people judge me or think I'm a goody-goody two-shoes because I'm a virgin. And he was like, no, I understand, like, I respect that you're a virgin, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, this guy's pretty cool. And so when he was asking for a kiss, he was like, you know, I understand you're a virgin, but it's just a kiss. Like, why can't you just give me a kiss? It's not that big a deal. It's not like I'm asking to have sex. And I kind of understood where he was coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to kiss you. I really don't. So, you know, he kind of pushed to the side, and then we were driving home, and as we were driving, mind you, it's like 4 or 5 in the morning, pitch black, dark outside, and he was driving, he was like, hold on, I gotta pee, and I was like, oh, okay. So he pulls over, and he pulls over into this abandoned, dark, empty parking lot, this abandoned building, like nobody was around, and he pulled into this abandoned building, the parking lot of an abandoned building, and I was like, okay, and he was like, I gotta pee, I was like, okay, go pee. He steps out the car, he literally, and I was on my phone, so I didn't see him do it, and when he got out the car, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hop on my phone, see what's, you know, social media. He hops out of the car, 2 seconds, literally 2 to 3 seconds later, he comes on my side of the door, opens the door, and it's like, hey, come out for a second. I was like, I thought you had to pee. And he was like, come out for a second, come out for a second. I was like, no, it's cold outside. Like, at the time, it was cold. I don't remember what month it was, but I was like, no, it's cold. I'm not coming outside. And then he was like, come out. And I was like, no, it's cold. Like, go pee. And then he leaned in, and he leaned in the passenger, like, with the door open, he leaned in, and he was like bending down and looking at me in the face. And then he was like, can I get a kiss? And I was like, nah. I was like kind of like giving him my cheek and pushing him away. I'm like, nah, I don't wanna, I'm not in the mood. And then he was like, come on, it's just a kiss, like, I don't understand. And I was like, no, bro, like, no. And then he asked me again, he was like, come on, it's just a kiss. And it was getting very annoying at this point, so I was like, maybe if I just give this guy like a little peck on the cheek or a little peck on the lips, he'll go away. So I actually ended up kissing him, but he was very gross with his kissing. He's out of all my list of dudes I ever kissed in the world, he's number one on the absolute worst kisser list. It was terrible. It was gross. It was spit, and it was tongue, like he was digging for gold with his tongue. It was the worst, like, 5 seconds of my life. You know, I kissed him, and I was like pushed away, and I was like, alright, you got your kiss. And then he got out my side and closed the door, and then he went back around. So apparently he didn't even have to go to the bathroom. Then he comes back in the car, and then he's like, you know, I don't understand, like, it's just a kiss, like, I don't understand why you make it a big deal out of it. And I started to get low-key upset, and I was like, you should know. Okay, first of all, when I say no, I mean no. You know what I mean? So, I don't understand why you keep pushing it. If I said no the first time, you should just stop asking. Like, obviously I don't want to kiss you, so I don't understand. And he was like, yeah, I understand that, but it's just a kiss, and I respect that you're a virgin, and I'm like, being a virgin has nothing to do with it. If I don't want to kiss you, I don't have to kiss you. I kissed you because I didn't want to hear your mouth through the whole day. So, she started going back and forth with me, and I was just like, and I just thought, I was like, I paused for a second. I was like, hold on. It's 5 in the morning. I'm in an abandoned building parking lot. If I get this dude angry, what if he's like, you know what, you're not going to give me a kiss, you're not going to give me what I want, I'm going to take it. And it ends up raping me, God forbid. So, I was just like, you know what, okay. Like, I didn't say anything else. I was just like, okay. I was trying to be nice and sweet and cordial. I was like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Okay. It's late and it's cold. I would like to go home. So I kind of summed up the whole argument, because I was like, I'm not going to say anything to piss this dude off right now, because I don't want to get raped. I don't want to get beaten. I don't want to get left out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I am. It's late at night. I'm alone. No. He took me home, and that was the most silent 5 to 10 minute car ride ever, and it was awkward. And then he finally came into my campus and then dropped me off, and then I was like, well, it was very nice meeting you. I still kept my respect and cordial, so I was like, it's very nice meeting you. And he just didn't say anything. He was just like looking at me weird. I was like, you're not gonna say nothing? You're not gonna say, you know, walk safe or nothing? And he was like, well, I was gonna say it, but you didn't give me a chance to say it. And I was like, you know what, I got so angry. Sorry about that, guys. My battery died on my very long story. So, because he didn't, you know, give the same respect that I gave to him by saying it was nice meeting you, or blah, 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 I just got angry. I was like, you know what, goodbye. And I got out the car, slammed the door, walked to my dorm room, and prayed to the Lord that I'm back safe and nothing happened to me. Next story, again, was talking to somebody on Tinder, and they were gorgeous. Like, they were so freaking good looking. Like, I couldn't handle it. And I was like, oh my god. And this person was foreign. They were like from Spain or something like that. And I was talking to him, and I was like, I let him know, because of past failures, I let him know from jump. I was like, you know, I'm not really down for just to have sex. Like, I want to find a friend or a relationship. And he was like, yeah, I'm the same way. I definitely want to find a relationship. And then I was like, this guy's perfect. Like, yes. And so, you know, we were texting, and, well, we were texting on the Tinder app. We didn't have each other's number. And so we exchanged, like, social media accounts, like Instagram and Snapchat, and we were talking, and he was like, I was like, this guy seems really, really cool. Like, I don't think he's gonna hurt me, because I think he's from Spain, and they have, like, different standards or something like that. Went through my mind. We were talking, and he was like, you know, I was home alone, and he messaged me. He was like, I really want to see you. And I was like, you know what, I ain't got nothing to do, like, let's hang out. It was after I just filmed a video, so I had like a crap load of makeup on, and I was like, crap, what am I gonna do? I don't want to go with all this makeup on. I was just like, you know what, screw it. So I was like, you know, we can hang out if you want to. He was like, sure, I'll come pick you up. And so I got dressed really quickly, and he came to pick me up. And so he picked me up, and it was around 10 o'clock. He picked me up, and we went straight to his apartment. And his apartment was like really close by to me. It was like, oh, you're like right here. And so we drove, he picked me up, we drove straight to his apartment. And I know where his apartment is, because it's right down the street from where I park. I mean, not park. It's right down the street for like a shopping center, and I go there all the time. And so we go to his apartment, and we walk. His apartment is on the second floor. We walk up all the way to the second floor, and we got on the elevator, and he was being really sweet. Like, he was holding my hand and kissing my hand and kissing my cheek, and he was being like a typical cute boyfriend. And we walk into his apartment, and he was like, "You want to watch some sports?" And I was like, sure, I'm not going to really pay attention, but, you know, we can watch some sports if you want to. He was like, "You know what, let's not watch sports, let's watch something else." And he was like, "You want to watch something?" Because he was like, "You want to watch football or something like that?" I'm like, "I don't really care." And he was like, "What do you want to watch?" And I was like, "I don't care." And so he turns on the TV, and then all of a sudden he comes over, he looks at me, and then he comes over to me, and then he starts like kissing me, like not kissing me in the mouth, but like kissing like my cheek or my neck or my shoulder. And then I'm like, "You know, I told you I don't want to be here just to have sex." And then after I said that, his whole mood changed. He says, "I find you attractive, yes, but obviously I find you attractive, so I want to have sex with you, but that's not just what I want." And I was like, hold on. So I was like, okay, we're not on the same page. So I was like, you know, I thought tonight we were going to talk and bond and watch TV or do whatever. Do everything but have sex, basically. So he was like, "Yeah, you're attractive, so obviously I want to have sex with you, but that's not just what I want." So I thought, because it's nighttime and you came to my house, that we were going to have sex. And I was just like, bro, this is just happening all over again. Like, oh my gosh. Like, that's all people want. Like, I understand, like, that's part of the, like, sex is part of a relationship, and I understand that, but I let you know from jump, like, I don't want to do this just for sex. And then you get mad and disappointed when I say again to you in your face when you were ready, like, I don't want to do it. We weren't on the same page. His whole mood changed. It was like awkward silence, and he was like, well, I definitely want to spend more time with you, but maybe because I thought we were supposed to have sex today, we shouldn't, you know, chill tonight. And I was just like, I wasn't going to argue with it. I was just like, fine, just, you know, whatever. And then he was like, well, let me go call you an Uber. And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, you know, I'll call you Uber and I'll pay for it. And I was just like, are you for real, bro? Like, I was like, bro, you live like 3 minutes away from me and you can't drive me back home. Like, are you freaking kidding me? So I didn't want to argue with him. I wanted to get out of his apartment as quickly as possible. Like, I started to think, when I'm in certain situations, I start to think of the worst possible things that can happen. I start to think, like, what if this person gets mad that I'm not giving them what they want, and then they take it? So I was just like, you know what? I don't care. Like, call me an Uber. I don't care. So he calls me an Uber. I put in my address, and then we just wait for the Uber, and it took like 8 minutes. And then I was just on my phone, and my phone kept going off a little bit, like somebody was texting me. And he was like, please don't text other boys. And I looked at him like, I gave him like a typical, like, honey please look, and I was like, hold on, what? And then he was like, I'm just kidding, but, you know, I want to be with you, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, I want to be with you, and then get mad when I say I don't want to have sex with you. Like, you can't have it both ways. So he called me the Uber, and the Uber was downstairs. He didn't even walk me downstairs. He was just like, oh, well, the Uber's here. And I was like, okay, all right. So I got my stuff, and then I walked out the door, and I was just like, all right. And then he just like, okay, goodbye. Well, he didn't say it like that, but he was very nice about it. He was like, okay, goodbye, I'll text you or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then I walk out, and then he slams the door. You didn't even have the decency to drive me home, nor the decency to walk me downstairs. What if I didn't remember where I was going? Luckily, I have good memory, and I remember where I was going. So I took the elevator, and I left, and the Uber was not there. So that's when I started to get a little freaked out. Sorry about that, guys. So my battery died again, and then my light went out in the other room, so I just had to bring the camera into the bedroom to finish this story time really quick. This is probably going to be the most ghetto, sloppiest story time ever. Basically, when I got outside, the Uber was not there, and I started to freak out a little bit because right now it's about midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning. So I started to get a little freaked out because I had no way home, and I panicked. So I started to get my own Uber, and the internet was crap where I was, and it couldn't order the Uber because there was no internet. And then I started to get freaked out a little bit more, and then I was like, okay, well, let me call a taxi. So I started looking up. It was hard to look up taxi numbers because there was no internet, but I finally got a split connection, and then I called a taxi service. I called multiple taxi services, actually, and I started calling them, and I was like, hey, I need a taxi, like, right here, right now. And it was like, oh, it's going to take about an hour to get to you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's already 1 in the morning. Like, I need a taxi to bring me home. My home is, like, 5 minutes away. So I was like, alright, never mind. And I called another place, and they were like, you know, we don't have a car available to bring you home. And I was like, oh, fine, whatever. And then I tried to order another Uber when I had a split of internet connection, and it kept canceling it on me and then saying that it wasn't working. So I started to freak out, and then I called my dad. My dad, as you know from the last lyric video, my dad's kind of strict. So I called my dad. My dad went off. He was like, he was upset with me and upset with the guy that I just came from. He was like, you know, how could you do this, Sierra? Blah, blah, blah. You better be glad I don't see him. I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna set him straight. Blah, 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 blah. Because my dad basically was so angry because this guy just left me out to dry. This guy just left me out in the street because I didn't give him any. So, you know, it was hard, it was a struggle, and it was scary, but I finally got home. The Uber caller, the person on the Uber was like calling me like, oh yeah, your ride keeps canceling and canceling and re-entering and canceling and re-entering. And he was like, where are you? I'm driving around, I can't find you. I was like, oh, thank God. And then, you know, I was like, I'm right here. And then he was like, alright, I'll pick you up. And so, picks me up. I'm on my way home, and my dad was like, do not hang up the phone until you're home. Like, he was like that kind of upset. And he was talking to me, and we talked for a really long time, and both my parents were scared because I wanted to tell my mom, because I tell my mom everything. So I let my mom know, and I was like, hey, you know, I went out with this guy from Tinder, and, you know, he kind of left me out in the street, middle of nowhere. Well, it wasn't really in the middle of nowhere, but he, like, left me out to dry. Like, he didn't even drive me home. And both of them were kind of upset with the guy, but they weren't upset with me because my parents know, because I'm an adult, and my parents know that, you know, I can take care of myself. They were scared, and they were upset because I was put in that situation, but, you know, they're being parents. They were sweet about it, and I unfollowed that person from the guy from all social media sites, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, and I deleted my Tinder because I've had multiple, this story will be like 40 minutes long, but I've had multiple bad experiences with Tinder. Guys only just want one thing, and when you don't give that thing to them, they're just gone. They don't want any part of you. So that is my story about why Tinder sucks. Do not download Tinder unless your intentions are only for sex. Then don't download Tinder because you will be disappointed, as I was disappointed. I learned the hard way that Tinder is just not for a lot of people. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was very sloppy. It was my first time doing a story time. My camera didn't want to cooperate. My freaking light didn't want to cooperate, and now I have this crappy yellow lighting. But I hope you guys enjoyed this very sloppy story time, and I hope you give this video a like, and definitely subscribe down there. I don't know what I was... Go subscribe, like the video, comment. I'll see you guys in my next video, and I love you, and goodbye. Have a good day.